ASRock just keeps piling on the challenges, and you know what? We're here for it. But what was our challenge this time? To find the right pairings between their motherboards and the new Intel Core Ultra 200S Plus series of processors. So thanks to ASRock for sponsoring this video, we put on our PC part sommelier hats and put together a couple of pairings to give you an idea of what ASRock is doing to put these new CPUs to work. And it happens right here, right now on Robeytech. We pair a lot of PC parts around here, and within those pairings, we've used a ton of gear from ASRock, from their Intel Arc B580 Challenger GPUs all the way up to their Tai Chi motherboards. Not only that, we've got to geek out over ASRock's upcoming AIOs and power supplies at CES this year, giving us even more options, and all of that has not gone unnoticed. ASRock has been so excited by the ways we've used their components that they wanted to sponsor this video to showcase what they can do with the newest additions to the Intel Core Ultra family. But there is a twist. Our mission is to pair one of these new CPUs with one of ASRock's motherboards, choose parts that complement the pairing, and then build it and test it. So we're going to talk you through our pairing, showcase the build process from our live stream, and then put a bow on things with some data. But before we go any further, we do want to say a big thank you to ASRock for sponsoring this video. And with all that in mind, let's dive in. For our live stream build, we wanted to put together a solid mid-range gaming PC that's going to perform well and have the staying power for tomorrow that really celebrated the Core Ultra 7. So for our CPU, like I said, we're going with the Intel Core Ultra 7 270K+. We're just getting to know the 270K, but everything we're seeing is that this thing is a multitasking monster of a CPU, which we'll share more when we get into the data. And for this CPU, we need to pair it with a motherboard that will leverage the features of the 270K+, things like APO, 200S boost, and iBot, all while matching the CPU's mid-range price tag. So for that, we went with the Phantom Gaming Z890 Lightning Wi-Fi, one of ASRock's motherboards in their Enthusiast Meets Gamer series. The combination of the Z890 chipset, the VRM design, and heat sinks gives us the right mix of features to complement the 270K+ and let us take advantage of that K in the name. Also, the purple and black aesthetic doesn't hurt either. When we put all of our parts list together, we landed at around $2,300, and that's with 32 gigs of RAM, a 1TB Gen 4 NVMe drive, a fancy new AIO that just happened to be in the Phantom Gaming family, and an RTX 5070. But enough of me talking, let's show me putting this thing together and see what it can do. So those are all the parts we're doing inside of this build. Again, what was the total cost for all of this all in? $2,300, right? $2,300, or you can get down to about $1,500 if you wanted to do this with a ASRock Mobo, an ASRock 9060 XT, and a CU5 250K. Ooh, look at it. Now, I was trying to get that rub sound, but it wasn't working. It's okay, so here we go. You guys ready for a beautiful Mobo? Okay, so let's go ahead and throw this 270K+ in here. There we go, let's get that in there. Ooh, look at that. This is not a carbon, this is the Phantom Gaming from ASRock. So this is the one that we chose. They gave us a lot of different options, but this is the new one from ASRock. Their Z890. So this is our three front fans. Nice clean looking install there. It is, guys, all done. Ready for turn on. Okay, let's do a count here. Dude, check that out. The colors, look at that on the Mobo. The actual, they light up. That's pretty nice. Easy to find your color things in the back there. Okay, here we go. Turning this bad boy on. Boom! There it is. Now that everything is in place and we have one stunning PC, what does performance look like for the Core Ultra 7 270K+ and the Phantom Gaming Z890 Lightning? Well, let's start with CPU synthetics. In Cinebench 2026, our pairings gave us a score of 9912 in multi-thread and 592 in CPU single thread. Keep in mind this is Cinebench 2026, not Cinebench R23. If these numbers look low, it's not a bad pairing. These numbers are in line with Maxon's new scoring system, which has changed a bit since R23. Now moving on to 3D Mark's CPU profile, the 270K+ showed us a range with a score of 1359 in single thread operations, while spanning up to 19,239 with all 24 cores and threads running. Rounding out this selection of metrics, we saw a single core score of 3,332 and a multi-core score of 22,724 in Geekbench 6. But what does all of this actually tell us? Well, these numbers can be used to compare across each test's database, but there is one more test that will showcase how this pairs well with different types of applications, and that's PC Mark 10. While this also provides a score for comparison, it also shows us where this pairing is going to excel, and if that place is inside of Excel. just in case you want your PC to be awesome at spreadsheets. If that's the case, this PC would be awesome for those. But above the productivity scores, the 270K Plus and Z890 Lightning really stretch their legs in digital content creation use cases and in gaming. And speaking of gaming, we actually tested a few games for this video to see what kind of performance we could get out of this pairing. And to keep things focused on the 270K Plus, we're not using any GPU features. This is native performance. So at 1440p, our pairing ran Cyberpunk 2077 at an average of just over 200 frames per second, Hitman 3 run at an average of just shy of 310 FPS, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider averaged 271. But what if you're looking at all of this and thinking, Robey, I like the idea of this performance, the vibes, but $2,300 is a hard sell for me. What can we do for less? Well, we can actually build a pretty awesome rig for closer to $1,500. Rather than just swapping a few parts, we're gonna start with fresh pairings. The Core Ultra 5 250K Plus with ASRock's Phantom Gaming Z890M Riptide Wi-Fi motherboard, the smaller version of this one. We're also going to keep things in the ASRock family by swapping the GPU to the ASRock AMD Radeon RX 9060 XT Challenger 16GB GPU. And in case you're wondering about the performance here, we ran the same test to show what this pairing can do. In Cinebench 2026, our 250K Plus pairing gave us a score of 7,288 points in CPU multi-thread and 565 points in CPU single-thread. Moving on to 3D Mark CPU Profile, the 250K Plus gave us 1,274 in single-thread operations and spanning up to 14,639 with all 18 threads running. As for Geekbench 6, we saw a single-core score of 3,160 and a multi-core score of 20,342. So we have a solid picture so far, but does the 250K Plus and Z890M Riptide put a similar show when we look at PC Mark 10? Again, we're seeing a picture of a PC that does well for itself all around, but really shines in productivity and gaming with some solid performance in digital content creation as well. And that brings us to our gaming benchmarks. At 1440p, our pair ran Cyberpunk 2077 at an average just under 107 frames per second, Hitman 3 ran an average just under 190 frames per second, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider ran an average of 152. So overall, we have another pairing that goes very well together, but this budget rig doesn't feel like a budget experience. And with that, I think we met ASRock's challenge, but what did we learn from all of this? Well, for starters, the Core Ultra 200S Plus family has some range, but then again, so does ASRock. While we didn't stray outside of their Phantom Gaming motherboard line, ASRock has a wide range of options from their newly added Rock series all the way up to their Taichi family, which features multiple high-end variants including the custom water-cooled ready Z890 Taichi Aqua, which would have been pretty crazy to use, but that's a challenge for another day. Because ASRock offers a bunch of different options, there is a wide range of choices for PC builders at just about every price point. Whether you're someone who likes to custom tune your rig, or you're someone who just likes to keep your PC parts and your budget streamlined. As we wrap this one up, we want to say a big thank you to ASRock for sponsoring this video and for sending us over some of the components you saw in this video. Now, if you'd like to know more about ASRock products that you could pair with builds like these, head over to ASRock.com for more information. And if you want to see the full live stream where we built with the Core Ultra 7 270K Plus and Phantom Gaming Z890 Lightning Wi-Fi, you can check that out right here over on our other channel, Robeytech Live. Now, before you head out, we want to hear from you though. What did you think of the motherboard and CPU pairings in the video? If you were going to be doing a pairing with an ASRock board, which would you choose and why? And also, which pairings make most sense for what you're going to do with your PC? Let us know all that in the comments below. Now, while you're down there, if you like this video or maybe you learned something from it, we'd love to have you hit those like, subscribe, and notification bell buttons. We also have a lot more content like this coming here at Robeytech, Robeytech Live, and all of your other favorite social media platforms. And hey, if you have questions or you want to talk about this video, hop over to our Discord server over at discord.gg/Robeytech. Thank you so much for watching this, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.